Hey y'all, hey. Turn my music on. Well, my meditation. But good morning. When I get up in the morning, y'all, I already got the energy, but I'm ready to jump right in because I really want to get this done because I got a lot of stuff coming up, and while I got the time, the place of peace, and I'm able to focus, just like before coming on here, I couldn't even think of who I want to start with next. I had to inquire because, as you know, any book, it jumps around. I didn't know if we should linger on the children, which I've covered, that if you're following, and it would do you some good to kind of follow in order because I'm kind of syncing them to read like a book, chapters, endings in certain areas, so we can pick up with the next of what I've had to deal with in my life. And guys, as a psychic medium, starting out with tarot, being a tarot reader, after I understood what was going on with me and I fell back, well, I felt the need to kind of tune back in because, like I said, I want to live my life regularly like everyone else. I don't want to know what to expect because that's what I was doing when I was waking up to all of this and watching the tarot readers. I was looking for that next movement. I don't want to live like that. So I tuned in for the past couple of days to understand, which I already know what's going on. They're just confirmation for me. But hearing them, they lay it out much clearer. As you already know, I've put up the best confirmation. I'm sure it's no other like that because Kev gives his accounts as if he was in the household with us in that collective reading that he does. That's why I had to share that. And I saw that after everything. And he had posted that days before anything ever happened. But, now that I have dipped back in, and it's not going to last too long because I already understand what's going on. And I know I've been knowing what I got to do. I understand where the delays are coming from. I do. Because one particular one mentioned that it's coming from all sorts of ways. And I felt like that. I have felt like that. It's too many people mad about me walking simply. No arguments. No nothing. People thinking that they're pinning me up against something, want me in their space. But the minute that I walk away and no longer continue to go back and forth, now it's a huge problem. And that takes us to my estranged husband. I met him through work. My children were young. Every time I get up on my feet, they send them in. As long as I'm down there struggling, everything good. With the struggle is real. But the minute that I start progressing, I guess I step off the cliff once again because I'm not getting it. Because now I'm looking for companionship. Just, what we all kind of be wanting at that, around that, age and stuff. Because that's all that really matters, right? Just to feel good. I've learned that that's a lie. Not like that. Not like that. So Here it is, getting back up on my struggle. I find a job making about $7 minimum wage. Even though I'm worth more because I got my 4 kids. They're young. The youngest is still in diapers, just turning 1. And I find a job, something that can hold the rent. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. Making that minimum wage, $7.25 or something like that. It was holding the bills together. We were still eating slow, noodles, whatever we could, but it was keeping a roof over our head. Because see, God set it up to where I have a car that I own. And then I'm still able to find a job with the skills that I have, but I just can't be picky right now. So I know how to go out there and get it. So being, the kids in daycare, going to school and everything, I go to work, and that's where I meet him. Now, I don't notice him at all at first. I don't. I'm just there to work. And me doing my job, it already starts. I'm sitting in this little old smelly office. They got 3 of us in there. I've learned the job, I guess, too fast for them. Now they're keeping their eye. I'm being watched. I'm always being watched by someone. So now my coworkers are watching me. But, we get along. I'm able to go to work and stuff and be cordial. And we're not into it. I think that's probably the only place that I didn't get into it anyway with they can hate me, however, dislike me, but they didn't bring me any grief. Not them that I work closer to, but the manager did. It's always got to be somewhere in order for me to be pushed to move along. But I met my estranged husband there. And unfortunately for me, and him standing 6 feet tall and knowing what comes with all of that, I don't care nothing about what he got going on. I'm just looking for companionship, not a relationship. You gone whenever you can. All right. And that's how I was truly running it. Because I don't really have time for no one in my life like that. So here it comes. We got different shifts. We got a main shift because I'm not going to give any details as to what we were doing, but I was working inside of a warehouse that's the best warehouse. Not only for meeting him there, but the way that the devil set that up, a beautiful arrangement, should I say. Working in, let me go ahead and say it. They say, why you don't want to say? I was working in a floral distribution warehouse, dealing with flowers. And it's just getting that dawned on me again, how God just keeps me surrounded in his love, in his grace. I met him working in a floral distribution factory that distributes floral arrangements to the Sam's Clubs, the Walmarts, in that. Now, I worked in the office part, but he worked in the warehouse. Great position he held. Did his job well. He wasn't there playing around. I couldn't tell. He was there showcasing himself as a real employee. And to give you confirmation of how good he was, he held the keys to that building, y'all. He was one of them that had a set of keys to that building. I would know. And that's where I met him at. And I was impressed even more after. Let's talk about it. So here it is, in the many positions that sometimes we have to hear, we got an incident going on. Well, he seems to hold some type of status, my estranged husband that is, because the phones have to be monitored, because he's been placed in a situation to where a particular female is stalking him, busting the windows out to his car. Right around that time that song came out. Wasn't that a strong one? And not only that, calling up to the job, trying to talk to him. And him being who he is, he got all this protection. Because we gotta now monitor the phones so that this particular individual cannot reach my estranged husband of 4 years. Protecting him. And I'm sure, well, I know it's something. She mad about something, and she's young too, because he like them young. See, he didn't take me too serious because I was too old. He don't like them like that. He likes to be able to manipulate them. And I wasn't one of them, so he never really took me serious. But I fell in love with him. Even though I wasn't trying to, I did. So while he's really manipulating me to fall up under his spell, literally, it really don't turn out like that. Now does it, estranged husband? I allow him in. I'm building a somewhat, relationship to where I know what he's doing. And yet, no, he meets my kids. But he doesn't get to, just hang out. If he comes over, he sees them, they gone to their room, and we gone. He don't just hang around. That didn't come until much, much later. But he gets to know my kids. My kids know him. The only person that they've ever met to that extent. He plays with the kids. They all love the kids. He enjoys the kids, get along with them great. He wants to be a father because he doesn't have any kids of his own, fortunately, for the world. And I allowed him, but not to the point to where, they had to, but they had to respect him the same later on down the line. But, like any children, we all get on their nerves. So I heard that a lot. But I can understand how he could have been a little overwhelming. He needed a life. So now I have him in and out of my life. We know that he's with someone. I know it because I had to help protect him. When the real receptionist went to lunch, we had to cover the front desk, blocking calls and stuff. So now I'm interested. he might have just what I'm looking for, because for her to be calling, acting like that, he's around 28. I'm 33 maybe. And the way that I'm seeing him maneuvering, and not too much, we're just crossing paths. My interest ain't even there until after, this ordeal with having to protect him from his female stalker friend, his girlfriend, the woman that he's in a relationship with. We're protecting him from her. Because now that I'm interested, and I'm real interested, honey, I done grew some balls and went and gave him my number. I'm filling him out. God got him looking good. He's standing 6 feet something tall. Deep voice sounding like Barry White. Looking like a Mexican, talking that, it was baby. He wasn't looking like, he was just looking like he was, you could tell he just wasn't completely black. But as time will move on, we will find out that he's of a Native American Indian mix breed. Black, but with that strong heritage, and it shows. So the Indian lies there, that Native Indian. We know it. I know it. We've had the discussion. But follow me. So as I have to keep going in and out of the office that he's in, now I want to go in there. At first, I just want to stay comfortable in my office, but I don't mind going to the warehouse these days. I'm flung myself around professionally. Trust and believe. Getting his ways in different ways. Getting his attention, should I say, in different ways. Without speaking, but not even flaunting nothing. Just want him to notice, get a better look if he wasn't looking. And now that we see, he was. But the type of individual that he is, it's left up to the female to always make the first move. And that's when he sinks his claws into you. Okay? I made myself a victim. So now, before I even go give him my number, honey, we still having to cover the front desk to relieve the receptionist to go to lunch. He comes out into the office area from the warehouse. And he goes to the copier. I'm minding my business, but I feel him and I see him in the back of my, he over there. And I'm using my eyes in the back of my head to see him. My peripherals, because he over here. And he happened to call my name. And I didn't even know that he knew my name. I wasn't on this job very long, guys. Just a few months. Just a few months. Because now that it's known that something is brewing in the background between us. And another particular individual, she happened to be liking him too. And I didn't really know it, but she was still kind enough to make that transaction happen for me. Mm-hmm. It was okay. Because now she's letting on that I like him. So now he got confirmation, more information. And I don't even really know that she's in the background doing that, which is okay. Because she was a friendly, very happy girl. Seeing her even after working there in a Walmart, very sweet girl. And before, my departure from there, well, this brewing romance, if I should say, is getting around the office. Now someone is upset. My manager. My manager. She gets a whiff of it and she's upset because she likes it too. Him. She like him too. And I could have contributed to my termination, but God always knows what he's doing. We can only be in a particular area for just so long. Just so long. Everything is temporary. And, not that she makes that the issue, but she starts to create other little issues to where now I'm in and out of her office. At first, before that, she's wanting to talk to me because they always can sense something in me. And they want to share their life and their stories with me. So we're talking and she's sharing where she's adopted a child. And I guess I did slip up and laugh a little bit. And I don't know if that hurt her feelings. If it did, because I did feel, kind of bad about that because it did slip. Because my thought was, this is the biggest scam in the world. To this very day. The biggest scam in the world. And that wasn't me laughing. That was the spirits setting it up for me to be terminated even more. Because if this is something that this woman has invested in, and because she didn't have children, guys, and I don't even think that she could have children, and she was a big fat white female that was spreading out of her whole entire chair. And let me tell you something, this is a book, and I'm going to keep it as real as I would in my book. So if you are offended by my words, I'm sorry. But so you can better understand and see, because I need for you to see like I'm telling a story. There was this manager, a big, fat, white female that was interested in him as well. And my little slip of the giggle, that set things in motion. After, because now she's tying that, and then she's got wind that I like this individual, and she like him too. I'm feeling it. I'm starting to feel it. Now I'm trying to protect myself. It's not working. Now I'm in the owner's office and I'm just a little black girl. They're all white. They're never going to get rid of her. They're never going to listen to me when it comes to what she say. So I'm wasting my time until it's all said and done. The temp service finally calls me. That's the end of my assignment. I knew it was coming. I knew it. Now I'm starting to make all these. We got along well. Even the girls that I'm sitting in the office with, they're, the coach, this is how it goes in my life. That's why I had to take myself out of the work game altogether, because no one is ever going to allow me to just come in and do my job peacefully and not disturb me. No job is going to ever allow. I've worked so many jobs. Even when I said I'm going to do right this time and just go in there, not make friends, not talk to nobody, not get caught up, it still does not work for me. I am too perfect in other people's eyes, even though I don't see myself as perfect at all. But they do, and that's what they are mad about. They give me the recognition, then tear me down. How fast I am, no errors. Because when it comes to not making errors, baby, that's my forte. I've showed out in that area for a lot, impressed a lot when it comes to my skills in the workplace. And I just don't seem to fit. They can't have perfection if that's what they want to see me as. They can't have that in the workplace. It can't be like that. You can't come in, they can't have people coming in, outsiders coming in, showing up people that's been there for a long time. What's wrong with someone coming in and being focused on the job that they are there to do and do it correctly? I couldn't remain. They wouldn't allow me because, and let me help you to understand, I have no reason to sit here and make up any lies about my life to anyone. Just like they giving me that, they telling me now Trump charges all the time. Every time, some in every workplace, they making me seem like something that I'm not, just because of how I work and my professionalism and how I carry myself. That's what we're all. I set the example. I even had somebody in this very last go round, the last job that I worked, out of sarcasm, to call me a role model. Satan. Because that's what I showcase myself, not trying to, but that's how I carry myself. That's how I present myself. I'm not there to make friends with no one. Now, if we just happen to be working in a space to where we're going to be working together, I'm going to be cordial to you, chatting, all that. But don't get mad at me because I don't provide you with too much. And you're left trying to figure me out and you can't. That's not your responsibility at all. So that's where I am. I can't go back to work because they won't even leave me alone in the workplace, guys. It's just like that. Okay? So we 30 minutes in. I'm just going to take a small little break. This is how I see it, because I'm going to try to do an hour on each one. Okay? And I'm going to come back and we're going to pick back up to where, I met and how it went on like that. Okay? All right. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So we back. Just a little bathroom break and water. Just a little break. But so guys, because they, honey, when I tell you, see, here they come. I ain't seen, now I sit down back to talk about it. Here come a gnat flying by. Well, that's what I get, because I do stay in a pretty wooded area. Not wooded, but it's a lot of trees and stuff, honey. But anyway, so I'm no longer there. She had to figure a way to get me out of there, Satan. Thanks. Because I wasn't going to be long working for no $7.25 an hour, honey. I was just trying to get on my feet before I moved on. Satan knew it. He just beat me to it. He knew what we was doing. He was mad that I even accepted the job. Look. So, he got my number anyways. And now, it's up to him. I've transferred the energy that he was bringing to him. He got to make the first move now. I don't have his number. Well, and cell phones weren't even like that. I don't even think I had a cell phone. I don't know. Just beginning to have one. Sure was. In that era. That was going to be my next move. Yep. Got it. Yep. Sure did. At Metro. Right there. First phone number to Metro. Got my first cell phone. Excited about that. But now, here it is. Well, I had it, my cell phone, of course I had it. But that was around the same time that I had it because I had to he had to have some number. So that was the period that I got my first cell phone. So he had the number and he used it. And it took him a while because he's with somebody back and forth, cheating, doing God knows what, because ain't nobody going around here slashing tires, calling people's jobs back to back. And now it's understandable because this is a young female, barely out of high school, 18, 19 years old, because he like them young. Her emotions are, I'm talking about, involved. She don't know what to do with herself. She's all over the place. For her to be acting like this, when I say she busted out all the windows, she busted out all the windows. I think she even flattened some tires. But he's hood like that. 'Cause he's a true life gangster. Practice gangstership. Still to this day at his age, run around here representing. He said. But we're going to get to it. Just follow me. Keep up. So now, he's with her. I know it. I knew it. But yet, I don't care. They not married. I don't see nothing that I'm doing wrong. And if I'm okay with it, and, sharing, I guess, well, he became we man. Just as long as you keep that over there. And I think he was taken back by that because when I say that was his home over there, but I started seeing the pattern, him in and out. Whenever they got into it, he was quick to leave from over there and come and post up with his belongings. Just like trash bag man, garbage man. In and out with their trash bags. And that's how I was allowing it to be. He was around my kids, but he got along great. He was even helping me. I don't know what was in him at that moment. He was wanting to be there. I was starting to see, but he wasn't there like that Still, it was no him living with me. His stuff was just there. A couple of nights, a few nights, yeah, he did have to come and lay his head down. But if he didn't show up that night and he wasn't there, I didn't question it. And see, I knew how it went because you done did your thing, because you're not trying to come and sleep with me. And I know it ain't nothing wrong with me. So just in that, I knew. You just need a place. And I left it just like that. And I kept doing me. Doing me. And when I say doing me, that's what I mean. But the only one that was ever inside of my home, around my children, was him. He was taking them, picking them up from daycare and everything. He was looking like a provider to me. He already had a good job. He was showing himself to me. What he couldn't do over there with her, he would come and do it with me. You know, some of the stuff, I would just be left in shock. I never even expected for him to take me out. I wasn't even looking for that because I understood he had somebody. I didn't even want that pressure. I didn't want that relationship, that type of relationship. You go on and do you. But then it's like he wanted to kind of slowly show himself to me without telling me. I already knew. You know, he did at least share that he just gotten out of prison. I don't never hold nothing against nobody and what they did in their past. And okay, you went to prison for all these years because it was a long time. And given how he's 28 now and he went to prison, a child going to prison pretty much. So even on down the road, I never held anything against him because I always thought in the back of my head, it could be because of his past circumstances to why he's ended up in these situations. So I continued to move forward. Okay. And the way that he told me, it was like he could have just simply came out and told me that he's been to prison before, but he had to be in the midst of a small argument. Not even an argument, because I didn't really have any reason to argue with him about nothing, because I didn't care about what he was doing. But I could see that something was bothering him. And that's how it came out, because I want, you know, what's the problem? Because now I'm starting to see the darker side. But he not really showing it to me like that. It's like I'm seeing a torn, like two people, so to speak. Because I even found myself after, meeting with his father and stuff. Because now I've met his father. He's introduced me to his father. And I think that was, to get an approval. And I'm having to call his dad one time because I didn't understand what was going on. Here he's a great businessman. I know, because I've had to go and pick him up when, I stay in an area. I have to go drive in the middle of the night. And I was doing this, when my children are home sleep. It's over in the middle of the night. They at home sleep. I will go and pick him up and take him to work just so he could keep his job. Just so he could keep his job. I would. If it's anything, I didn't want to see here it is. He's already, he fresh out of prison, got a great job. He's like the assistant manager, not assistant to the office, the assistant supervisor in the warehouse. That was his title, the assistant supervisor to all these other employees. A lot of them. They had to go to him when the supervisor, they left things in his hands. Keys to the building. So, not being in a relationship with him and allowing him to do, what he do, I was there. Because I didn't want to see him fall. I never want to see no individual fall. And especially, if he really needing, if he calling me and telling me, hey, y'all, this man was calling me to come pick him up at the store. He never led me directly to the house, but Spirit did. Spirit did, because Spirit said this has to stop immediately. But I didn't even know I wouldn't be, I've always been led. If you keep up, I've been led throughout my whole life. Had to, because they know, before I know, it's too many people on their way like now up against me and won't leave me alone, and they won't detach themselves from me, especially because now they know who I am and I'm presenting myself. See, if I was just not in front of the cameras and they couldn't see me, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop this. I'm not stopping what I'm doing, because this is the best way that I can get God's message out to the world. So that's something that they're never going to be able to stop. But I needed to be protected, because since they see this now, this new me, they don't like it. And they don't like that I walked away and I'm not going back. And he's one of them. So here it is. Given all this that I've allowed him to do, taking him back and forth to work. Yep. Taking that risk to leave my children. It didn't happen every day. No, not like that. No, not like that. But on occasion, I was taking him to, I did a lot. I put a lot of miles on my vehicle, not the Omni, because we're not in the Omni no more. I've upgraded my vehicle. I have a nice little neon car. God is upgrading me. I'm doing better. Leave the attachments alone. If that's what you're going to do, do it. But I allowed that bond to grow too strong, because my feelings became involved. Not to the point to where I want to argue with him about what he's going to do, nothing like that. But when it became, a constant cycle, he was constantly in and out. And then I was seeing what he was going through, and he wasn't sharing that with me. And then the things that he wanted to share with me, I had to give clarity, even though I didn't know that I was this. Just like he wanted to come in and let me know that she was pregnant. And I immediately told him it wasn't yours. Just like he wanted to see if I was still on that same tip just last year after talking to him for the last time, because I'm never talking to him again either. He no longer has my number. He needs to know if that was really the truth, I guess, because he brought it up. That wasn't your child. She rushed to tell you that because she really rushed to get an abortion while you was at work. And I told him, not like that. I told him so casually. And he looked up and he knew it. He knew it. And he didn't say one word. There was sadness there. And I just let him be and walked away. So him thinking, because his evilness and his wicked ways, that generational curse remains. It needs to be broken. That's why a lot of his family is having girls in his immediate life. We'll get to it. Because he can't be, the production coming out of that, if this makes sense to y'all, it has been lessened. It can't come from him no more. To populate this earth, no more wickedness, evilness can come from him or his bloodline, but through him. Not through him. It's got to go another way, but not through him, because he's just that evil and wicked. He's a master manipulator. He was born out of a den of master manipulators. We're going to get to it. So I'm allowing him in and out. I don't care what's going on. You talk to me about it, I'm going to give it to you. Go on about my business. But your clothes are here. I don't see them going nowhere no more. It's like you live here now. You come here, you just wash up and go. And then you want to come and lay your head down when it's almost time to go to work. That's when you come stepping in after you done partied all night, or went and harassed and stalked somebody all night. And that's what he was doing, y'all. He was stalking this young girl. He was lying to me, having me thinking that he over there, he done had me to drive him to stalk this girl, to where I ended up having to leave him there. I done sat in the car for a whole hour. A whole hour. Waiting on him, because he needs to go do something. Come to find out, he over there bothering her. Times that I've been met with, he tracked mud. Like, where this mud come from? Because he running from police. He done had to jump a few fences and stuff. And done tracked the mud escaping to my house. I'm dealing with a true criminal. Someone that's psychologically unstable, because mental illness is there, but I don't know that just yet. But it's all making sense. He won't leave this girl alone. He won't leave her alone. And it truly makes sense now. Because as I go on, and I don't really want to jump ahead, but as I'm reminiscing this, it's really making sense why his family, the men, are obsessed with women that they can manipulate. It's to steal energy. It's to steal energy. And seeing how she was trying to run away, guys. She was having to call the police and everything on him. I didn't get that part. I didn't get that part. I didn't know that part. I had to figure that part out. The mud, he's not going to tell me where it come from. He don't even realize that it's at the bottom of his feet, probably. His adrenaline is too high, probably high. And then his adrenaline is high too. because he was doing drugs. I didn't know it. But I always inquired, like, why are you? He carries a towel. Why do you always, sniffing? And his girlfriend confirmed it for me when I had my first encounter with her. And she let me know that, yeah, he does. Enough was enough. Now you're affecting my livelihood because you can do whatever you want to do, but now it's spilling over into mine because I'm allowing him to use my car. To do dirty work probably. He's already put a couple of dents in it. Fell asleep at the wheel. High. To where the cops had to, this is stuff that he's provided to me. He did get tickets in my car. A lot of stuff. It was starting to spill over. And that one particular time I need to be at work because he was always there. I was even allowing him to take me to work, just the miles that I was allowing on my car. Had him take me all the way across town just so he could travel all the way back across town, leaving me stuck. I'm at work, been off, and I'm having to wait over an hour for him to come and pick me up. It's becoming like that because I've allowed him too much into my life now. I'm allowing him, and this is how it goes. This is how they do. He even asked me at this particular where I was working, because the drive was far, but he was serious. He wanted me to quit working. That was an immediate no, honey. Spirit say no fast to that one. And we was just allowing it to go like that. And to where that, I think he lost me that job. But I don't blame him. I blame myself. I allowed him to. But it was fine because that was far. I could always find other jobs, which I did. But they never lasted because of this pig that I'm dealing with. So finally, I guess things is going good back with them, because I'm no longer, having to be there like that. It's just like a on and off. It's becoming that, a on and off situation. That's what it's, But when it got to the point to where his clothes remain and he's never there, and now, he's banging. When I say, no, you're not, gone. You got to get ready. I'm noticing the pattern. He's only coming when it's almost time for him to go to work. He don't want to sleep here with me because he want to remain faithful to her, to let him know, let her know that I ain't been sleeping with no. You could call and ask. I ain't been. She'll be like, because we wasn't. That was a sign for me. You just trying to prove yourself to her. You really want to be there, and that's really what it was. He wanted to be with her. The 19-year-old. 20. She was young. But we talking about years. Because this started becoming years that I was dealing with him. I married him. But over a span of 15 years before I did. Over 15. Before I married him. That's how long I've been on and off with him. Long periods, short periods. Some lasting as long as years. But this one is final. I remember I had went on about my business. If I rewind a little bit. He wasn't responding to me anymore, so I just left it alone. He wasn't calling me anymore. I was on my way to the food stamp office. And for some reason, I had to travel through Fort Worth to this food stamp office because I was staying in Arlington. But I had to go. I guess, I don't know if some new thing, because you have to do the fingerprint now. It was new at the time. That was brand new. And they was just starting over there. So I had to go to Fort Worth for all of that. Like a bonding or something for food stamps. So I went over there, and y'all, as I'm on the freeway, you don't hear me. I'm driving on the freeway, and I see an individual, because I hate for people to drive on the side of me. So if you're on the side of me and it's like we got the same speed and we just driving along together, I don't like that. So I either slow down or speed up so you don't be on the side of me. But this car was just on the side of me, and every time I speed up, you know, it's like they will kind of fall back. But then they trying to see who in this car. Y'all not going to believe me when I tell you it was him. And he's chasing women. He don't know that it's me in the car. He don't know that it's me, because I got a new car. He don't know that. It's me. So when he realized that it is me, he like, it started flat. You know, now we're off. We're exiting. He want me to exit. Because it's like you know, and now it's, you know, because he's sitting up now, he looking for chicks. Where he ran into one. The wrong one. He got the right one, but for him, the wrong one to take advantage of. So he's back in my life, guys. Everything's meant to be. Everything's meant to be. He's back in my life. He was there. He was supposed to be placed there to heal. But that's not what he chose. So here it is. The little young girl, she done moved on because she too scared of him. He done scared her too much. So he done moved on. She done moved on. He don't have no choice but to move on. And I feel like she probably placed some type of order, you know, restraining order, protective order, to leave her alone. Because finally she's moved on and everything. Got a child. Because she's young. And seeing what's going on now with him, she want a life. She want kids and stuff. And he ain't going to be able to give her that. We're going to come back with part 2.